Yeah, I'm here, Death. Just you and me, and Blue.
We're here. Speak to us, Death.
Yeah, I think they can hear you out there through here.
Tell you, I can join. I'll join Zoom. Let me mute Discord first.
Yeah, yeah, that's a normal
Uh,
thing to do. Yeah, well, came up on suggestions. That's all right. Oh, Blue's looks like Blue's knocking at the door. How do I get to that? Oh, didn't I do that? I better set that up. I lost all the settings got turned off, so I had to redo everything. Yeah, I'll just stream for a
yeah,
little while.
yeah, you got it back.
Yeah, damn internet.
I get. Damn it.
Yeah, we're
Is my
on.
mic
We're
working?
yeah, your mic's working. Uh, you guys on Zoom? Yeah, we're in Zoom now. We're over on Discord there. There's a two-way you can do it. You can come into Discord or you can come into Zoom. But you have to have the special key to get into the Zoom one. Not the Zoom. Or the Zoom and the Discord. There's a special place in Discord. I didn't know you could do Zoom. Me? Yeah, I've had Zoom for ages. I've had it for about, I don't know, about a year and a half, nearly 2 years now. Yeah, I don't find it that hard to use. It's not that hard. Who else is here? Um, Besides me and Blue, just you. And I think John was out there. Oh, Farmers has found us back again. While he connects to
There
audio.
he is.
Is Mr. Farmer.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. I got cut off.
You didn't unplug your router again, did you?
No, I moved the cord away from me feet under the desk, so I don't bump that anymore now.
Oh, right. It wasn't that then.
No, it happened. It's happened to me in the last week. I stay up late and I watch where I'm on gyms or watching internet movies or TV show stuff, and
Yep.
I've had it cut out, but late at night. So I've just got to wait for it to
Oh,
All right.
reconnect again.
It crashed and burned this time.
Hmm. Yeah, I was gone
yeah.
for nearly an hour, or just under an hour, I suppose. I got caught up watching iRobot on. I've saved a few movies on the computer, so I thought I'd watch the rest of that because I started watching it the other night when it crashed on me. Oh, Demon Orb's turned up too. Shit, how many people is
Oh,
that
good man.
already? I have to count. Oh, it's four. Nothing much happened down Gems at the moment, Farmer. I had a look.
Do you know what? To be honest, I had some things to do and then I stuck the telly on.
Oh, did you? Okay, what's on the telly?
Fuck all. It's a Saturday afternoon, there's nothing on.
I remember growing up when I was a kid, used to get the Saturday afternoon movies, whether it be Elvis Presley or John Wayne cowboy movies and all that in the afternoon.
Oh, on BBC One, we have some football, so we won't bother with that because I don't do football. We have some tennis. Great, I don't do tennis.
Jeez.
Some crappy films. Blah blah blah. It's typical Saturday afternoon, I'm afraid. Oh, have I just missed the rugby? Wasp versus
Don't
Leicester
you get
Tigers,
lifestyle channels like where they renovate houses and stuff like that?
I generally don't watch that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
motorsport? No motorsport channel?
I don't think. Hang on, let's have a quick look. We've got cricket. We've got the end. In fact, that's probably that's a rugby match. It's now probably over. There will be some Euro hockey. Whoop-de-doo. It's absolute garbage.
Wow.
There's just nothing on. Oh well, might have to take the bike out this evening for a spin, as it's a lovely day out there.
What's Def saying? iRobot is on here. What do you mean it's on here? Earlier it was The Martian.
Oh, I do like that film.
Yeah, but I don't watch TV movies because you get bloody ads.
No, well, I watched that on. Oh, I started watching the new series on Amazon Prime yesterday about Jeremy Clarkson becoming a farmer.
Oh, that yeah, I haven't caught up on the rest of them yet.
I've only watched the first episode. Oh my god, he hasn't got a fucking clue. I mean, come on, I only grew up on a farm, but I'm sitting there going, oh, for fuck's sake, no.
Yeah, I seen that they were going to do that, and I'm going, okay, how's that going to go?
And the poor bastard, it turns out he started farming, and it was sort of September time, 2019. Now, 2019 for us was extraordinarily wet. In fact, I think at one point it just rained for 6 weeks. And like somebody pointed out to him, if anybody was going to start farming, then was exactly the wrong fucking time to do it. I remember a lot of farmers were getting seriously worried because exactly the time when you should be planting all of your winter crops like winter wheat, it was raining. And of course, you can't do anything when it's raining. You can't do any farming at all when it's raining because the fields just turn into mush. Yep. You certainly can't drill any seed when it's raining. And that's a lot of that is in the first episode. But he goes out and buys himself a tractor. So he's bought a fucking Lamborghini tractor.
Oh, they've already done his first season of Clarkson's Farming.
Yeah, the whole season is now up on Amazon Prime. Instead of sort of streaming it episode by episode, they've just gone, wallop, there you go, there's the first series. That came on yesterday. So I've watched the first episode and yeah, poor old boy, he ain't got a clue about farming.
Well, what are the other two up to then?
Well, they've been having their own series on them, I think, the other two. But yeah, I think that this is... Yeah, Clarkson he owned this farm anyway, but he paid somebody else to do the actual farm work. He'd got 1,000 acres, which is a fair sized farm over here, and he paid somebody else to do it. Well, that somebody else said, "Look, I'm retiring," and he said, "Okay, I'll do it myself." Haha, how hard can it be? You know, in typical Clarkson fashion, I'm afraid.
It can't be Flat Earth Day every day, Gary.
Well, it is if you believe the Earth is flat. Then it's Flat Earth Day.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know.
What about the? I can beat Flat Earth Day. I can go the Year of the Sphere.
Yeah, that sounds like some ad campaign on the TV. This is the year of the sphere.
Lamborghini
started out life. Yes. A very good point. Yes, they made tractors before they made sports cars. But the tractor he's got, I mean, you've never seen anything like it. It's a hell of a bit of kit. I mean, it's got so many bloody buttons and things inside. A lot of the kit my brother's got, I wouldn't have a clue how to get in and start it and drive it.
Is it one of those big ones with the big wheels?
Oh, huge. Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't fit in his barn.
Mm. Was it the one you can drive on the freeway and it does 100 kilometers an hour or whatever?
No, the tractors aren't built for speed.
Yeah. Well, I seen one on video of one driving down the freeway over there somewhere.
The fastest one you'll get over it is the JCB. I think it's called the Fast Track. It's a cross between a tractor and a like an off-roader.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really. You can do farm work with it, but it's more designed just for towing stuff around and stuff like that.
Ah.
They're fairly fast. Traditional tractors are not built for speed; they're built for grunt.
Yeah. I think Gary wants to come on here and talk about why we just haven't learned to come to realise it yet that we're all flat earthers.
Because there's no evidence to suggest it is flat.
Hmm.
That's all. A small and minor point.
Yeah.
Everything points to it being a globe, and we have plenty of things in orbit around it and have had for several years now, and it ain't flat.
Yeah, if I see evidence of a flat earth, some of us went to school. Now, you can't say that, Carl, because then the flat earthers say you're indoctrinated.
That's right.
Yeah. And I only went to
Indoctrination, not education.
Yeah, I only just managed to go to year 10, so flat earthers can't say I was indoctrinated. I didn't learn that the earth was a sphere in school. I learnt the components that can teach me how to work out if we live on a sphere or not, like math and things like that. Ugh. I was talking to Huey on Skype when you went off. Oh, Huey, yeah. Okay. I know. You haven't seen Huey around lately on the Discord. He did drop into Jim's there one time, there a few months ago.
Did he?
Yeah, I did see him over there one time. I mean, he will drop in here, but I don't know if he can see us down in the hidey hole down in the squad talk. Not everyone's got the role for that. Well, I've got 12 watching, Farmer, for
How do we manage that?
to come re-streaming again.
Gosh, you might have to do something then.
I know, I didn't really have anything planned because I came back into Discord, Blue turned back up, and I put out everyone over in the Discord thing, and I don't know what happened to Alan, he's gone idle. Paul's gone completely muted and deafened. And I
think Alan's carrier showed up.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, his lunch lady turned up.
Ah, okay. Well, it is that time of day, yeah.
And now Carl thinks that I am Huey. Am I everybody with an English accent? Jesus, no wonder I feel worn out.
Yeah. You have to change your name to say I'm not Druss.
Yeah, I mean we have all got wildly different accents.
Oh, wait a minute, is he down in? Let's check. Thought I seen him down there earlier. A minute ago. No, he's dropped out of there.
Yeah, I don't see him.
Jim's there.
Oh
no, that person that starts with a K's down there.
Is Clarkson Farming worth watching? Well, yes, I've only watched the first episode so far, and yes, very entertaining. Oh, we got a new guy.
Yeah, I've got a new guy called, but he's blue. He's got a spanner, so he can't be new. You Wally. Jeez.
But no, it is typical Clarkson, I'm afraid. You know, he's given advice and he follows it for a while and goes, "No, I could do it better than that." No, you can't.
Round the troops up, Jose, and tell them to come over here instead of being down in Gems where that person that starts with a K is down there.
Yes, I heard he made Kosho quit.
Oh, well, Kosho's back.
So he is. Oh well, that didn't last long then.
I posted a link down in Jim's a little while ago.
Oh, you already did that. Yeah, I was
Oh,
going to do
Jose.
that. I was going to do that. I forgot about
You're not new, Jose.
that. Yeah, just get away from that K person.
Yeah.
Oh, did you put me down in Gems? Did you that I was on?
Did. I can do it again.
Did I get any?
Let me just do that.
Well, Jim doesn't seem to say anything about it, so.
There we go.
Yep. So he has.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
What are they going to do? Tell me to stop doing that?
You're not a mod down there, are you, Blue?
Nope. I am not. Good thing, too.
You ever been muted?
Oh, yeah.
By Jim, I mean, not the other person.
No, not by Jim. I've been muted by Chemo.
Yeah, that's the K word I wasn't going to say. If we say his name 3 times, he might turn up. Here, I'll put something down too. I'll say live now, chemo free. Live now.
No free zone.
Yeah, chemo. Oh, yeah, that's better. Chemo free zone. And where's the?
Oh, excuse me.
I was going to say I can't be keeping you up in the middle of the day.
It's only 5:10 in the afternoon. I just feel knackered. Probably because I ain't been very well. But hey, there you go.
There you go. Live now, chemo free zone. That's another person I haven't heard for a while. Not TT guy. Shit, I can't think of their names. He lives in Queensland. Probably not online. Well, I don't know where No Name went. Ah. What? What's that, Fred? Something about someone, chicken something. What?
I believe somebody. He's spouting about somebody chicken choking.
Oh, as we speak. Okay. Well, we can go down there and listen without talking. I'm able to do that.
Mm.
Here we go. I'll put myself on mute though.
Say in there, is there? Right. So here is the specification of my PC. It's now in the debate chat. If anyone would like to look, you will see it's clearly a new PC.
You guys can hear that, can't
Anyway,
Yes.
please continue. I do apologize. What were we
Problem,
talking?
not a problem. I mean, the flat Earth is here to stay. That's the most important thing.
you? Oh, jeez, I
And,
could have predicted him
you know,
saying that.
the evidence for the heliocentric model is obviously very sparse. So I think today is the day that we invite you guys in Globe Earthers to present something on the table, other than the idea
Does it
that
have
we're
to
on a
be on the
spinning ball
table?
flying space. So who dares to put evidence on the table first?
Hmm.
What's the point in doing that again? Because he just goes.
Like I say, we haven't got any anymore because of Anthony Riley and the egg.
You see? That's where we are, guys.
That's how fucked it. We're just totally fucked now.
No, but that's where we are today. That there is no sufficient evidence to show
Well,
that
we're waiting for Anthony, aren't we? He's now the arbiter of all things science, right? He's the world's. He is the world's leading.
Yeah, he done the Cavendish, and now
physics
what's he going to
expert,
do
right?
now?
Well, I mean, what he's been able to do.
He has completely debunked all known physics and replaced it with the new version.
Mhm.
So we're just waiting for him, right?
Mhm. Well, I mean, like I say,
is expert.
He was able to look at the claim that there was a force, yes, and obviously, if science is repeatable, as we are told, then obviously this force of gravity should be able to be repeated. And obviously, he couldn't do that. He hypothesized that density was the cause of the effect, and went ahead to show.
Yeah, okay, that'll do you.
Is it me? Or does chemo sound a little bit wound up by Jem's approach to all this? There was an edge to his voice, I thought.
Trying to get somebody going down there, but nobody seemed to want to buy it.
Well, what's the point? Heard it all before umpteen bloody times over.
Lindsay Physics, yeah. Caught it live.
No, there's no evidence for the heliocentric model. Yes, just because
that's live, Sean.
It's presented to him.
That's live. I went down into Discord. I had a live stream yesterday. Nobody showed up. I was live for 1.5 hours, 1.5 hours. Oh, okay. Might be the time, different times, because that's what I've been fiddling with, Sean, trying to work out what time to have mine.
Well, it also seemed that YouTube isn't being entirely reliable in notifying people.
Hmm. Chemo PTSD. I don't know acronyms. What that would be?
Post-traumatic stress disorder.
Oh, okay. I think everyone suffers from that when they go down there with him there.
That's what it's called these days. It's had lots of names in the past. I mean, in the First World War, it was called shell shock.
Mm.
And then, unfortunately, in the Second World War, certainly on our side, in the UK, it used to be called lack of moral fibre.
Wow, that's a long title.
Yeah, if you couldn't stand the strain and you went to pieces, you're accused of having a lack of moral fibre. You're quite often demoted down to the lowest rank possible and then put on punishment duty, merely because you just couldn't fucking handle it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Which rather cruel and extreme, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm glad they sorted that one out. Oh, may as well watch this then. Where are we?
What's that?
Oh, okay, I've got to sort that out. I've got a video here that I didn't play, so I may as well play it.
Yeah.
You want to play a video?
Yeah, I may as well play this one.
Ah, oh,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
oh.
You better give him the usual warning, Blue.
Oh, they'll get it here in a second.
And you really do need it for this one. You
Okay.
really do.
Okay. Yeah, yes, keep away from your monitors as far as you can.
Definitely. How about the next room?
Yeah. Can I get rid of that?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Blue Marble Science. Brian's logic says airplanes can't possibly work on a globe. Well, it's not like we haven't explained this about 1,000 times, but Brian has got some brand new ideas that just won't work. Warning, severe facial and monitor damage alert is in effect. Get out those oven mitts, push the monitors back out of punching range, and let's light this dumpster fire and have some fun.
Aircraft fly with their noses between 1 and 4 degrees above horizontal on average. The reason they fly this way is due to how aircraft are designed to fly, by using air pressure differential above and below the wings. Aircraft are pushed ahead through the atmos by thrust.
Atmos? You're going to start out with the Atmos, and then you're going to get mad if we don't take you seriously? Come on, Brian.
And the wings of the aircraft are designed in such a way to create and take advantage of a pressure differential, where faster moving air glides over the top of the wing, causing a lower pressure system, and slower moving air glides underneath the wing, causing a higher pressure system. Due to entropy, this causes lift.
No.
What?
No,
Entropy?
Brian. Just
Exactly.
no. Air flowing over and under a wing is not entropy. Where do you come up with these ideas?
As the higher pressure under the wings strive for equilibrium with the lower pressure above the wings. So, the more thrust that is imparted by the pilot of the aircraft, the faster the air flows over the top of the wings, and the faster the air, the lower the pressure. And as we all know, an increase in pressure differential will mean an increase in entropy.
You're an idiot!
So, more thrust, the greater the entropy. The greater the entropy, the more lift. The more lift, the more tilt the nose of the aircraft will have upwards.
Right off the bat, you've got this all fouled up, Brian. It's not the thrust of the engine that causes the nose to tilt up. That's what the elevator of the airplane does. Let's at least get our terminology straight. We have a wing, and the wing has ailerons, and the ailerons control the roll axis of the plane. At the back, we've got a rudder. The rudder is used to control the yaw axis of the plane. And then we have an elevator. The elevator is what controls the pitch of the airplane, or the position of the nose of the plane. The elevator has a trim tab. That's used to remove the pressure that the pilot would have to hold on the control yoke. If that trim tab is set for the airplane to be flying in a nose-down attitude, increasing the thrust will simply get you to the scene of the crash a little faster.
So, just before we move on there. Okay. Here is an aircraft wing. Fast moving air over the top, slow moving air underneath. Okay, so you have high pressure underneath and low pressure at top. So high will go to low, causing lift of the airplane. So here is from NASA. So thrust is pushing, pulling, pushing, whichever, the plane forward.
Whatever.
You have drag, which is
whatever.
air resistance, causing a pull back the way because it has to flow through air. You have weight of the airplane, which will cause it to want to go down. Then you have lift caused by thrust, which will allow it to stay up. Okay.
Lift is not caused by entropy or thrust, Brian. Have a look at these airplanes. They don't have any thrust, but those wings produce an enormous amount of lift. Lift results from higher air pressure below the wing and lower air pressure above the wing. Now, there's a key factor to keep in mind, and it is the direct relationship between the density of the air, we call that rho, and lift. If rho changes, lift changes proportionally. In other words, the more dense the air is, the more lift you produce. We'll get back to that in a minute.
So more lift than weight, the plane will rise. More weight than lift, the plane will fall. The more drag than thrust, the plane will slow. More thrust than drag, the plane will accelerate. Okay, so the more thrust, right, will cause more lift. So the more thrust, the more lift, the more lift, the more the nose of the airplane will tilt upwards. Okay.
No, it's not okay. It is not the thrust that controls the pitch of the airplane. The pitch of the plane is determined by the forces applied to the tail of the plane. If airflow across the tail, across the elevator, is pushing down on the tail, that will lift the nose of the plane. The plane will rotate about the center of gravity in the pitch axis. Conversely, if the force on the tail is pushing up, that will cause the nose of the plane to go down. This has nothing to do with thrust. You've got this totally wrong.
So, and the more thrust, the more lift that is created, then the more the weight of the plane is overcome, and the more thrust creates the lift and also counteracts the drag, and the lift also counteracts the drag. So that's the basics of this effect. Okay, but a byproduct is the nose tilts up the way. So the more thrust, the more the nose will tilt up the way.
And somewhere in there, you said the lift counteracts the drag. Oh, boy.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Yeah.
Houston, we have a problem.
Okay?
Yep.
Because it causes more lift, and the lift causes the pressure differential, which causes the plane to tilt up the way. So the plane's nose is tilted up the way. So here we have the purple line. If it's extended, let's just say globe out. Okay, I have written in down here. Here you have the plane going forward, right? So the plane is trying to go in a straight line like this yellow line
You
here.
didn't put not
right?
to scale
But
at the bottom of the corner.
This model here, the globe out model, it has to be doing this, right? Going down this way. But it's trying to go forward, right? Because that's how it flies. But actually what happens is, as it flies, the nose comes up the way. If you can see this yellow arrow here. So what's actually happening is it's flying forward, but with its nose tilted up the way. So it's flying forward at a slight angle, okay? But it's still flying in a straight line, horizontal line forward. But it's flying with its nose above horizontal, because this would be horizontal, but this would be where its nose is, tilted above horizontal. So engine power increases lift, and lift causes the airplane's nose to tilt upwards from horizontal. Here, these lines here, making flight over a consistently curved surface a physics impossibility.
Physics
What
impossibility.
you just said
Speak
is
grammar
one of the
good,
most
this
insanely
guy.
idiotic things I have ever heard.
At this point, Brian has himself hopelessly confused. When Brian talks about the nose of the plane tilting up, what he's trying to talk about is the angle of attack of the wing. The angle of attack of the wing is the angle that's formed between the chord line of an airfoil and the relative wind. Don't be confused by the term wind. That is simply the apparent movement of air opposite the direction of travel of the airplane. But there's something I want you to take a look at the bottom. As we go from level high-speed flight to level cruise speed flight to level low-speed flight, that angle of attack has to change. And that results in something that every pilot knows. Pitch controls airspeed, and power controls altitude. I can change the altitude of the airplane by doing nothing other than changing the power setting. If I increase the power without making any change to the pitch, the aircraft will climb. If I decrease the power without making any change to the pitch, the airplane will descend. In steady state flight, lift has to equal weight and thrust has to equal drag. If that's not true, the aircraft is either climbing or descending or speeding up or slowing down. You see the lift equation on the left there, and it simply says that lift is the coefficient of lift times the density of the air the plane is flying in, times the square of the airspeed times the surface area of the wing divided by 2. We only need to talk about 2 of those factors. The lift coefficient, C sub L, depends on the angle of attack. We have charts that tell us, for a given angle of attack of the wing, what the lift coefficient would be. The other factor is the density of the air. We call that rho, and that's dependent on the altitude the plane is flying at. Our atmosphere has a pressure and density gradient, and we all know that. Atmospheric pressure and the density of the atmosphere decrease as we go up in altitude. That means for a fixed angle of attack, a wing at lower altitude will produce more lift than the same wing at the same angle of attack at a higher altitude. By the way, that area of high pressure under the wing and low pressure over the wing are areas of gas pressure without a container. Here's what happens in reality. We have our Cessna, and we have that Cessna trimmed to fly at a particular altitude. If for some reason the aircraft were to try to climb, it would be climbing into an area of less dense air, and that will cause it to lose lift. Now weight is greater than lift, and the plane will automatically descend to the altitude it was trimmed for. On the other hand, if the plane tries to descend, the opposite happens. It descends into an area of more dense air. That means the wing will produce more lift, and now lift exceeds the weight of the plane. The plane will try to climb, and it will return to the altitude it was trimmed for. It's just this simple.
So, just going to go back down now. So, from this, we can conclude that when an aircraft is flying at around 550 miles per hour, which is around the average speed for a commercial Boeing 777, etc., that the nose of the aircraft will invariably be above horizontal by a couple of degrees, as it has no choice under those conditions. You see, aircraft can't not fly with their noses a few degrees above horizontal, as that is how they are designed to fly at cruising altitude for extended periods of time and distance. And every pilot must learn this, as it's a crucial part of information to know for every pilot.
And every pilot does know that, Brian. Every pilot knows that the airplane is flying at a constant altitude if it's in level flight. And in level flight, the pressure of the atmosphere and the density of the atmosphere is relatively constant. The aircraft is always referenced to the gravity vector. That keeps the angle of attack the same no matter where you are over the top of that really big spherical Earth thingy. And the aircraft simply follows that line of constant pressure right around the curve. It couldn't work any other way, Brian.
I see. So your argument is that in respect to aerodynamics and achieving lift, it wouldn't be achievable for a sustainable flight if you were descending over a sphere edge. You wouldn't be achieving lift because you'd be nosing down.
Well, the thing about it is that you have to, when you add thrust, you create more lift. And when you create more lift, you create more tilt of the nose. So the plane is always, once there's lift, the nose of the plane is always tilted above horizontal. Always. It just depends on.
So after forgetting that airplanes have tails and control surfaces, and ignoring the fact that there is a density gradient in our atmosphere, Brian is now over at Nathan Oakley's channel seeking technical advice. Somehow, I don't think this is going to end well. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit those buttons down there. Shout out to the patrons and PayPals. I really appreciate everything you guys do. And I guess we'll see you on the next one. Hey, Gladys. We're out of here.
Hi. Good evening, everybody.
Hi, Alan.
I just don't understand how people can't understand that. It's so bloody simple.
Yeah, the problem is so's Brian.
Yeah,
It's so bloody simple.
just tell Brian to take the engine away from the aircraft and just have a glider and explain it to me then.
I've pretty much understood that since I was about 8 years old.
Mm.
You know, I mean, when I was an air cadet, I was teaching that to other air cadets at like the age of 15 or 16. And they, you know, and I don't think anybody ever didn't get it.
Yeah. You were trying to teach Brian.
Well, obviously, you know, and I mean, I would like to be corrected by Blue if, you know, most aircraft, they're built with the wings having some positive angle of incidence to the center line of the fuselage, so that when they're cruising, they don't have to cruise with the nose of the aircraft up, you know, several degrees, because that would be uncomfortable for people.
That's true.
You kind of design an aeroplane so that the wing has an angle of incidence that would keep the fuselage center line essentially level at cruising speed.
Yeah.
Even the way the wings actually bolted to the fuselage, it's not what do you call it with the fuselage? It is slightly on an angle, isn't it?
Yeah, sorry, Terry, I was using technical jargon words there. Yeah, that's called the angle of incidence. It essentially gives it some positive angle of attack while it's sitting with the fuselage, or level with the ground.
Mm.
Yeah, you'd kind of like the fuselage level in flight. It's handy. It improves the visibility for the pilot mainly. It's not so much for the passengers as it is for the pilot.
Yeah.
As you pull that nose up, you just start losing sight of the stuff that's directly in front of you, the shit that you're going to hit, right? So it's fairly handy to have the fuselage level. So as you say, there's an angle of incidence built into aircraft to account for that.
Yeah.
But the whole principle is so simple. It's so devilishly simple. When we start teaching people how to fly a plane, and this happens generally in the very first lesson, you get the student a little bit accustomed to what the controls are actually doing. What do the ailerons do? What does the rudder do? What does the elevator do? Let them push and pull on that, twist on that stuff for a while. But then what I always did was get them up at a safe altitude and help them get the plane trimmed so that the aircraft would be just maintaining level flight, not gaining altitude, not losing altitude, constant airspeed, and amaze them with the concept that they can actually just let go and the airplane will just continue flying quite happily, straight and level. But then you do a demonstration for them and say this. So what do you think is going to happen if we reduce the power? And almost invariably they'll say, well, the plane will slow down. Well, no, it won't. Really? Yeah, try it. So have them pull the power back a little bit. And what happens is the aircraft just simply begins a descent. It's amazing. The airspeed doesn't change. Airspeed stays the same, but the plane is now descending. And you return the power to the previous setting, and the airplane doesn't change its angle of attack. It just simply climbs back to the altitude you had it set for. That's how it works. There's nothing more to it than that. And that's how you show them that it's the pitch that is controlling the airspeed and the power that's controlling the altitude.
I think they don't. I think they don't grasp the concept of a pressure, of the fact that you're essentially at a pressure altitude, aren't you? So it stays at the level where the air pressure is constant.
Yeah,
well, the density, the density, but that's kind of interchangeable, really, isn't it?
It is. It stays at it will stay at the altitude where the pressure, the atmospheric pressure, is producing exactly the same amount, exactly the amount of lift it needs to counteract the weight of the plane. That's what it will do. Now, if you want to stay at the same altitude and just go a little bit faster, you increase the power setting and trim the nose down, reduce the angle of attack, right? And then you can go faster at the same airspeed. If you want to slow down, you reduce the power setting, but you increase the angle of attack. That slows the plane down, and you can still maintain level flight. It's not hard to demonstrate this stuff. And no, Death, you don't really constantly have to adjust the trim in most airplanes. It'll stay relatively, it'll stay where you put it for extended periods of time. The only thing that'll really change it, two things. Number one, if you're flying over a decent distance, you may fly into an area of atmospheric pressure that has changed, either up or down, and that will affect the trim. Or as you fly along, you're burning off fuel, so the airplane's becoming lighter. And over time, that will cause it to climb a little bit. But it's not a constant thing. In smooth air, most aircraft in smooth air will fly quite happily if you just leave the damn thing alone. Don't do anything to it.
Yeah, I've been in a plane where when you go up through like an air pocket, and the plane just sort of drops suddenly. Weird feeling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, turbulence is quite a different thing.
No, that was the first time I was in
I'm sick and tired of hearing that damned argument that airplanes would have to dip their nose to fly around the curve. That's just absolute bullshit.
Yeah. It flies parallel to the surface at whatever altitude it's set at.
Yeah, pretty much.
And what I was going to say is when you come into land, it's a different thing as well.
Yeah, well, that's as far as I'm concerned, that's the really difficult bit of flying.
Even in a glider.
Especially in a bloody glider. You don't you don't have go around options in a bloody glider, Terry.
Yeah, well, that's it. You got to do it once. That's it.
Yeah. You only get one chance.
Yeah.
You only get one chance in a glider. There's no shit. I don't like this.
I'll go around again. Nah, sorry. Flies parallel to the surface of the flat Earth. Okay, Death.
And the truth of the matter is, that's a true statement. It would. From that aspect, there wouldn't be any difference in flying over a flat, stationary Earth and flying over the spherical rotating one that we live on.
No.
There would be no difference at all.
That is, of course,
because the pressure gradient would be the same whether the Earth is flat or whether the Earth is a sphere, right? Same thing.
Well, assuming that we can make a flat plane that has an atmosphere with a pressure gradient. But
yeah, exactly. As long as the pressure gradient is there, it doesn't matter what the shape is.
Yeah,
and that's something I've told this idiot 100 times. That the airplane does not know, nor does it give a shit what shape the Earth is. It doesn't care. It only knows the body of air that it's flying in. That's it.
That's why so many early flight simulation software, stuff that was doing flight simulation, would assume a stationary flat Earth, because why calculate stuff you don't need to when your computer is already struggling to calculate what you want it to calculate.
Yeah.
Got to ask Damon Orb in the chat. How the hell did you end up with backwards trim?
Yeah, I read that before. I thought, how could you have backwards trim?
Somebody rig it backwards, or how? That would be mind blowing for sure.
And the trim on the rear aileron, the one that's on the back wing, that locks into position, doesn't it? Because you set the trim and it locks it in.
No, it's not locked in.
Lock it in.
It's a little tab on the back, a little tab on the back edge of the elevator.
Mm.
And if that thing is deflected up by your trim wheel and the cabling and stuff connected to it, if that thing is deflected up, it pushes the elevator down, right?
Yeah, what I mean is it locks in, as in the air doesn't move it
up.
around. It has to be solid.
It's got a cable on it.
Yeah.
It's all connected that way. My last airplane was a Mooney, and it didn't have a trim tail because the entire damn tail moved. The entire empennage back there rotated. So when I moved the trim wheel in that airplane, I was literally changing the entire angle of the tail of the plane. That was done in Mooney's, and some other aircraft had that feature too, because a deflected trim tab is drag, and the whole idea was to reduce the drag to the minimum, get the most speed out of it you could.
So the Mooney has a fully flying tailplane then?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the model thermal soaring gliders that I've flown have fully flying tailplanes. They say because they reduce the drag.
Yep. No, Death, what I had was an M20F model, which had I had a bunch of Lopresti speed modifications done to it.
What's Demon saying? After a firewall, rebuild the engineer, rigged it, crossed over, the duplicate inspections, missed it. Very dangerous.
Very dangerous. You bet your ass that's dangerous, Demon. I'm glad I wasn't in it.
It wouldn't have even took off, would
it?
Let's
talk about flying. Well, even crossed, you're probably not going to notice it much on takeoff, but you're going to notice it pretty quick when you start trying to remove the back pressure on the yoke. Death says tricky landings. He's talking about the Mooney. They are if you're not accustomed to that airplane. Those things float. It's a laminar flow wing, and it when you get it in ground effect, it just doesn't want to stop. So you've got to fly the numbers. It will make you a much better pilot if you get decent at flying that thing, because it will teach you how to stick the numbers in terms of airspeed and stuff. If you're carrying 5 miles an hour too much airspeed over the numbers, you may not get it on the runway. Those things will float forever. And the whole idea behind landing is to get down really close to the ground and stop flying, right?
Yeah. Essentially.
And when the plane decides it doesn't want to stop flying, you've got a problem.
Yeah, the trick, of course, is to do that with very little vertical speed.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was essentially always my problem.
Okay, M2M. You've decided to be a fluffer. All aircraft are steam powered. I thought they were air compressed air. Del told you. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta be very you gotta be gentle with airplanes, like especially like the Mooney, because it doesn't have struts of any sort. It's got rubber donuts, and that's the shock absorber for the main gear. And the wings are wet wings, and if you slam that thing into the runway, you may end up spending a lot of money getting the damn tanks resealed.
Ooh. Oh, we might finish it off here, Blue. This is the second run we did.
Yep.
That's cool. I need to start thinking about fixing dinner, I think.
Oh, thanks for coming back, you guys.
That's all right.
Thanks for Death Demon. M2M. Yeah, I know Wally was in there earlier. NA. I haven't seen you for a while, NA. And our favourite flurfer, Gary. Well, I don't know. We've got Gary and we got the other one. Not Brainery. Geez, a few of them turned up. Sean turned up. You haven't dropped in. Sean hasn't dropped in that often, but it's good to see you. On Jose. Talk about how you all love chemo. We'll start with farmers. Thank you. I don't know what he means. I don't know what he means by that.
Well,
swear jar on standby.
Yeah, I'm gonna say,
yeah. You're
gonna have to turn the swear jar off, Terry.
Bloody hell.
Okay. I'll look the other way.
I think you all know where I stand on that.
Yeah, I'll look the other way. Don't forget Carl and Spooky. John Stock was there early. Came back early. Oh. Oh, Alan dropped already before I got to say goodbye. I'll say goodbye to everyone, and then we're out of here.
Night Peanuts.
Yeah, second. I didn't get to say goodnight the first time because that was just we all cut off.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.